for fuck's sake, lads and lasses, what an absolute horror show of shit. It makes sense it was the day after bloody Halloween, man, because we played like a bunch of fucking pumpkins out there, to be honest. We were proper gash, my friends. Let me just get into it. Sorry, fucking bullshit things popped on my phone. Go away, man! Look, oh, for fuck's sake. Arsenal have just beaten Manchester United 1-0 at Old Trafford in an absolute Halloween horror shit show of a game of performance by Manchester United. Literally fucking awful, the display from Manchester United today, man. Seriously, I mean, you can't really defend the setup, you can't defend the tactics, you can't defend Ollie, you can't defend how we've gone about it, really, in terms of the actual performance today from the lads. It just wasn't good enough. Like, it just wasn't good enough. Like, we were fucking pants, mate. We were poo-doo-magoo. We pooed our own pants today. We really did. Certainly Paul Pogba, a.k.a. Paul Logba, has bloody pooed our pants for us out there today. Because he's given away the penalty, which ultimately led to our goal. And what about that absolute fucking prick, Mike Dean, with that bollocks decision not to award United a penalty? So there's other things that have gone our way today, but you do have to say that ultimately the reason why United have perhaps lost this game today is because it was just a shit, toothless, gas-tastic, non-creative, terribly fucking gas-tastic performance from the boys. That's as simple as that. That's the only reason you can really give, is that United just were not good enough from the off. The performers were not good enough. Scott McTominay, you're a freaking clown, my friend, honestly. Yes, he's good in some games, but he's just not consistent enough for United. He's got to be dropped from the team. Fred was bang average today, actually. He's been great recently. I'm not going to criticise Fred, but McTominay, he's not really been at the races for a while now. Yes, he was good against PSG, you know, but come on, we could see we needed a bit of something different today against Arsenal. We needed a bit more creativity out there. I think Solskjaer got his selection a little bit wrong today. Because, let's face it, he had Donny van der Beek just itching to get on, itching to play in this game tonight. Probably would have fit this game very well. Somebody that would create his spark with that great first touch, who's not going to give the ball away a lot in midfield. So I do think that Solskjaer got the midfield selection wrong today. Certainly Pogba, you could argue after the fact that Pogba shouldn't have been starting in this one, because what does he actually offer us, Paul Pogba, mate? He's fucking garbagely shite. I'm sorry, I am going to make it about Paul Pogba. You know why? Because our freaking £89 million World Cup winning bloody twat is the person who's cost us the game today with that shoddy piece of defending, man, giving the penalty away. Now, we can't blame this whole game on Paul Pogba, absolutely not. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. But it is a factor. It is a factor. I don't get what everyone sees in him. Yes, he's good every now and again. Yes, he was great the other day against RB Leipzig. Good. If you stuck me out there, I'm going to turn up every 1 in 5 fucking games as well, I'm sure. He's bloody bang average. He doesn't do it consistently enough for us, and he's made another error today. Criticise Ole Gunnar Solskjaer all you want, and there's a lot of people criticising Ole Gunnar Solskjaer right now. Criticise him all you want. He can't do anything about that individual error. He can't do anything about the individual error of Slabby Maguire against Spurs or Lindelof's shite. He can't do anything about that other than not selecting them in the team. But he selected them on the back of a good performance against Leipzig. You would think that Pogba would not do something so juvenile and schoolgirlish as giving that sort of a penalty away. So, you know, you can say what you want about Solskjaer's selection there. Ultimately, it's an individual error that has cost us in this game again. Freaking again. Do us a favour, lads and lasses, if you're just getting in here, smash that like on the video. We're going to get into it. We're going to get deep into it for the next 20 minutes, half an hour. And we're going to get some things off of our chest, aren't we? I mean, look, the game was fucking awful from the off, man. I mean, we didn't set up properly. We didn't create. The tactics were just non-existent. I don't understand why we didn't get at them. It took, again, until we went 1-0 down for us to start playing some football. If we'd have just started the game like that, maybe we'd have gone a lot differently today. I know what Solskjaer was trying to do. He was pretty clear, understanding of the fact that Arteta and Arsenal are desperate for those points, and they'd be coming to Old Trafford to attack. They weren't going to do what Chelsea did and just come here and park the bus. So Solskjaer was trying to pick them off on the counter. You could see what he was trying to do. He was trying to soak them up and just try and hit them on the counter with Rashford and Greenwood and that kind of thing, and hope that our creative midfielders, the likes of Pogba, the likes of Fred and McTominay and these guys would be able to get us away, but they just couldn't do it, guys. So the tactics were totally wrong today from Ollie. In hindsight, hindsight's a wonderful thing. We should have set up a lot more attacking. We should have got right at them. But you could see what he was trying to do, though. I know what he was trying to do. He was trying to get us to play counter-attacking football. He was trying to lull them on and spit them back out and hit them on the break. That's what we were trying to do. Should we be doing that at home against Arsenal? Well, you can argue no. But that's what we were trying to do. That's what we were trying to do. He was trying to keep it tight at the back because we've got shite defence, and he was trying to hit them on the counter-attack, utilising the good players that we do have on the counter. Players like Rashford, who just weren't at the races today. Players like Greenwood, who had a quiet game. You know, these guys are usually brutal for us on the counter. What about Bruno Fernandes? He's got to hold his hands up and say he had a shit game today too. You know, Captain Magnifico for us the other day, but he was bang average today. So yeah, okay, you can blame the tactics, you can blame the system, but what about the individuals within that system? What about Paul Labille Pogba stinking up at the back there with that penalty decision? What about that freaking absolute? Let's get onto this absolute bloody tortoise-faced twat then, Mike Dean, mate. What a fucking joker of a referee, man. This guy every single time fucks us over. I'm sick of the sight of the twat. Seriously, his appearance offends me these days. That's how much of a shithouse referee he is. And you have to say that was a terrible decision not to award Matic the penalty in the second half when we were getting back into the game. That was a stonewall penalty. This is what fucks me off about football, guys. We've got the VAR, we've got the opportunity to go back and watch it, but he just chooses not to. How the fuck are we doing this in 2020? Where's the consistency with checking out these decisions? That's the whole point of VAR. Matic is protesting. He says, look, he's got me first. He's not won the ball. Check the freaking VAR. And Mike Dean's gone, nah, you know what? I've seen it once. It's fine. I'm going to leave it. Even though if he'd actually seen the replay, they would have had to award it as a stonewall fucking penalty. Surely they'd have awarded it as a stonewall penalty if they reviewed it. But we don't even get to review it. There's no consistency there with VAR. It's a joke, man. Seriously, VAR is an absolute joke. And certainly that bastard referee summed it up today with refusing to actually go and use it. So I'm disgusted and disappointed with the officiating of this game. I think that's given us a kick in the bollocks as well. I personally think United deserved the draw. Yes, our Arsenal maybe probed a little bit more first half, but they weren't quality. They weren't great. Yeah, Thomas Partey did a good job running them in midfield and stuff, but come on, it's not like they've absolutely battered us here. You know, they haven't done. I think they've been a bit fortunate to come to Old Trafford and get the 3 points today, I'm going to be honest. And I think United, we've got to look at ourselves and realise that Solskjaer's tactics were not right today. He's got to understand that. And do you know what? There's so many people getting on Gunnar Solskjaer in this... in the watch-along saying Ollie out, had enough of his tactics, he's clueless. He's just smashed up RB Leipzig 5-0. We just went over to PSG and ripped them up in their own backyard, my son. Come on. Like, you can't have it both ways. He's either tactically inept or he's a tactical fucking genius. Or he's somewhere in the middle. But you can't have it both ways. You can't be praising his tactical nous and cutting open one of Europe's best teams, top of the Bundesliga last week, 5-0, getting the tactics spot on. You can't, praise him for going to PSG and winning 2-1 because of tactical genius is what it was, playing that three at the back system and the selection that he made in that game and the tactics. You can't criticise him now and say that he's tactically inept after those two tactical masterclasses, my friends. There's going to be bad games and bad results like this all the time. That's football for you, my friends. That's fucking football. Look at Sir Alex Ferguson. How many times did he lose? How many times did we get scored? How many times did players not turn up and look like a bunch of mugs? It happens to the best teams and it happens to the best managers in the world. That's just football for you. That's management. So people getting on Gunnar Solskjaer so far, I think it's an absolute joke. I do. I think it's an absolute joke. I mean, look, he's early days in his United career. He's still mopping up from that Jose Mourinho Portuguese Mr. Bean melt bag. He's still mopping up from that twat. I call Gunnar the janitor, because that's what he's done since he's come in. He's mopped stuff up. He's trying to get rid of shit players, get new ones in. He's not getting the backing from the Glazers. They haven't addressed the problems at the back. He's having to play Lindelof and Maguire. He's having to use what we've got. And unfortunately, some of what we've got not quite up to the standard. Should we be doing better in that game? Yes, but how many times did we see previously in the past other managers get games wrong? It happens. It happens to the best managers in the world. If you think Solskjaer's not doing a good job on the back of a third place finish in the Premier League last season with a fifth place squad, in my opinion. And then on the back of those couple of wins that we've had 4 good results in a row, really. Okay, that Chelsea one was a little bit annoying. But the Newcastle game before that, the PSG game, and of course the RB Leipzig game, we've absolutely ripped him a new arsehole, lads and lasses. So how the bloody hell can you go from saying he's a tactical genius, which he was in the RB Leipzig game, and he was in the PSG game, to saying that he's tactically inept and he needs to be out? It makes no fucking sense, guys. Come on, give him a bit of time, man. I'm going to judge him at the end of the season regardless, mate. That's what I'm doing. I don't know about you guys, but I'm going to judge him at the end of the fucking season regardless, man. Do us a favour, everyone. Smash that thumbs up button if you're getting in here. Let's get into this then. So, yeah, I mean, if you actually look at the statistics of the game, it's not been a good performance by Manchester United. Let's have a look at the match stats. So we had 53% possession. We've only created 8 shots all game long and 2 shots on target. 8 shots and 2. I would 8-2 be on the receiving end of an 8-2 drubbing. So at least we weren't on the end of that. But anyway, Arsenal fans giving it the bigger now because their Dracula fuck wannabe Mikel Arteta's still wearing his Halloween costume, the prick. And Ole Gunnar Solskjaer unfortunately left the garlic at home. But it's a bit of a shame, man, that we couldn't get the job done today. Of course, we needed that result. Look where we are in the league right now. We're 15th. We are 15th in the league, my friends. You know what's crazy, though? If we win our game in hand, we've got a game in hand on City. We've got a game in hand on Arsenal. Sorry, no, we don't have one on City. We've got a game in hand on Arsenal. But if we win that game in hand, we'll only be a couple of points behind them. We'll be right back up there in about 9th place, 10th place, somewhere around there. Or maybe not quite there. But, you know, a couple of wins and we're back on track. Look at Arsenal. This has propelled them up to 8th in the league. In fact, they're in joint 5th on points now. So it's propelled them a couple of games on one in a row, and you can get back up there. So everybody's saying Ollie out right now. There's no basis for it at all. That's my own personal opinion anyway. I know a lot of you guys are looking for that. You want everyone to be Ollie out. You're looking for, oh, you want the sensationalism. But what's the point of saying Ollie out, man? It's not down to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer this loss, I don't think. Okay, yeah, look, it's a factor. The team was not set up enough, well enough. It wasn't creative enough. It wasn't attacking enough. You also have to say that the performances from the players that he selected was not good enough. So that's down to him. That's down to him selecting them. That's down to him giving them the tactics. You know, McTominay, in my opinion, shouldn't have been on there. Certainly at half-time, he should have put Donny van der Beek on for McTominay. I saw Matic and van der Beek warming up at half-time, and I thought Solskjaer was going to be proactive and make those subs at half-time. So he didn't. He's not devoid of criticism, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I'm not saying he's the Messiah. He's not the Messiah. He's a very naughty boy. I'm not saying he's the Messiah. I'm saying he is somebody that needs time. He needs belief. We all need to understand that it wasn't built in a day. Sir Alex didn't come in and change United's fortunes around overnight. It took him years. Jurgen Klopp didn't go into Liverpool and turn their fortunes around overnight. It took years. And all the Ollie outers, all the doubters, they're the same people. They're the same people that would have had Sir Alex Ferguson out on his ear after a couple of seasons at United. They're also the same people, if they were Liverpool fans, that would have sacked Klopp off after 2 seasons. And it would have been another 30 years before they play one a league title. You have to keep the faith. And it's not like he's not done a good job. It's not like he's not shown great tactical abilities. He's bested Pep. He's bested Jose. He's bested Lamps. He's bested PSG twice. He's done, you know, this game against RB Leipzig. You know, great performances from us. Yes, he's going to get it wrong. Today, he got it wrong. I'm big enough to admit that. You know, I love Ollie. I will back Ollie to the hilt right now anyway, because he doesn't deserve to be sacked right now. But he did get it wrong today with his selection, and he got it wrong today with the tactics, because we did not start playing football again until we were 1 down. We don't have a plan B. You know, the plan A wasn't working. We needed to change it up, and we didn't. So I'm very disappointed with the overall display from us. I was still expecting us to get back into that game, and it just never happened, unfortunately. So I have to say that Solskjaer's selecting was not good. The players were shit, man. I mean, let's talk about the players for a second here. Freaking Scott McTominay was bang average. Paul Pogba, of course, gave that ball away, gave the penalty away, which led to their only goal. So say what you want about the tactics as well. Say what about the performance. Ultimately, if it wasn't for one individual error by a World Cup winning prima donna meltbag in Paul Pogba, then we would have drawn that game anyway. And okay, that's not a great result either, but it would have been better than losing the game down to that individual error. So that's down to an individual making that error yet again, that all the blame's going to be shouldered on Solskjaer's door. Whereas it's actually Paul Pogba who is giving the bloody penalty away in the first place. And then Matic has won a penalty after that, which was not awarded by Mike Dean. So what can you do? In my opinion, we were unlucky today. I think we were really unlucky today. I really, really do. I think we're very, very unlucky. But what can I say? I mean, that's a record gone now. I think it was 16 years it's taken for Manchester United to lose a game at Old Trafford to Arsenal. So we haven't actually lost a game to Arsenal at Old Trafford in the league since 2004 or somewhere around there. So it is a shit thing to happen. You can't be losing to Arsenal at home. It's a terrible result, man. But look, we lost to Crystal Palace 3-1 first day of the season. That was a much worse performance. So yes, we're going to have bad performances in there, but over the course of a season, let's see how he does. If you were judging him compared to last season, you'd have sacked him off last season too. But he carried on. The second half of the season was amazing, and we cemented ourselves in that top 4, and we got 3rd in the end. So I'm going to give him all the length for this season regardless. I don't care what people say about Ollie out. There's all these Ollie outers coming here. People saying that he's tactically inept. That's a joke. How can you be tactically inept when you did what you did against RB Leipzig? How can you be tactically inept, especially when you did what you did against PSG? Because that really was a tactical genius masterclass of tweaking there and selections. You know what I mean? And then certainly that the mix-up playing the diamond and stuff against RB Leipzig, that was genius too. I just think it didn't work for us today. We're trying a different system out. It just didn't quite work for us. It was a disappointment, everybody. Yes, but we've got to put it behind us and we've got to move on. We've got to stay positive, everybody. Come on. Brandon Caesar's emotional moment, sir. Yes, absolutely. Aaron Keane says, Arsenal rule, get over it. United shit. Yeah, no. Arsenal rule, that's hilarious. Arsenal fans are a joke. Can I just say that? Arsenal fans are a fucking joke. That's the first time they've beaten us at Old Trafford in 16 years. Guess what? The last time they freaking won the league was 16 years ago. Guess what? How many times they won the Champions League? 0. You know why? Because they're a bang average Mickey Mouse shite club. That's why. Yes, they had a good spell. Yes, they had a good era. Yes, they had a good manager in Wenger and a good crop of players. But since then, they've been fucking garbage. And yes, United are not in the greatest run, and we haven't won the league since 2013 ourselves. But Arsenal fans piping up and giving it the big, and they look like they're Billy Big Bollocks. After one bloody win, they're pitiful, my friends. They're pitiful. That's right. Valou says, Mickey Mouse shit club. Matthias Lima says, yeah, we lost to them. You can lose to anybody on a day, mate. We lost to Crystal Palace. You trying to say Palace are a better club than United? We lost to MK Dons 4-0. MK Dons a better club than United? So Alex Ferguson lost 4-0 to York City in the cup. Are they a better club than United? Manchester City beat us 6-1 when Sir Alex Ferguson was the manager. Well, are they a better club? No, they're fucking not. So it doesn't mean anything. This is one game. You know, this is one game of football, my friends. Calm down. The Big Fish says, everything you're saying is so true. Thank you very much. Talking You says, Pig, this is what I was talking about when I said Ollie can't keep changing things, and this is the result. I know what you're saying. I would like to see him with a more cemented team. But it doesn't really make sense to not do that at this stage. We've got a lot of good players. So why not rotate a little bit? Why not give a player a break or a rest here? I know what you're saying. It's good to have your cemented team in there, the team that's going to more or less be that team that's got that understanding and got that confidence behind them and that winning mentality and all that stuff and keep it going. You don't want to make too many changes, I get that. But at the same time, like, we had a lot of fixtures to contend with. We're in the Champions League. You know, he's got to change some things up, doesn't he? He's got to change some things up. And actually, he didn't change all that much. It's still the same guys on the pitch. It's still the same people that are starting, Rashford and Greenwood, and you've got Pogba and McTominay and Fred. They've all performed brilliantly recently. Who knew that Fred would look so damn averagely shite today? Red Devil, thank you very much, Red Devil fan, getting in here. Hang on a sec. So wait a sec. We've got a pretty freaking bang average league table. It's looking bloody awful. So look at this. So okay, I can understand the frustration for the fan base. I really can. You know, we're doing shit right now. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer shut the bed today. He's pooed it and rolled in it, and it's not looking good. You know. But look, we are on 7 points after 6 games. That is totally unacceptable. I get it. It's totally unacceptable. But again, it's a marathon, not a sprint. Liverpool are first at the moment with 16 points. They're 10 points ahead of us. 9 points ahead of us already. But United have got some tough fixtures coming up, guys, and I knew this was going to happen. I knew we were going to have a rough run here. You have to keep the faith in the manager, because after that, we're going to have a much easier run. I mean, look at our fixtures coming up, everybody. Next game, it doesn't get any easier. Next game, it's, we've got Spurs coming up soon, don't we? We've got, Chelsea, no, not Chelsea, sorry. We've already played those bastards. But we've got some Everton. We've got some bloody tough games coming up recently. And we need to stay focused. We need to try and get the results. But even if we don't get the results in all those games, we need to understand that we've got other fixtures after that which are eminently more winnable. Biff says, looking good today, Big. Thank you very much for that, Biff, mate. Appreciate it, man. Yeah, I just wish all these Ollie outers would make like a tree and get out of here. You know what I mean? Because they're winding me the fook up, Biff. I wish we could get get a time machine and go back and, and maybe, I don't know, maybe change the time-space continuum a little bit, maybe keep Ronaldo at the club or something. That's what we need to do. Can you get on that, please, Biff? Anyway, everyone, thank you very much. Dean Flynn says, let's move on. Absolutely, that's all you can do. Biff says butthead. That's all you can really do is, is try and move on. We've got to go on to the next game now. Hey McFly, think McFly. That's right. That's what we need somebody to do to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Certainly Mike Dean, mate. Think Mike Dean, think. Because that guy's a fucking idiot, by the way. Can we not just take a moment? Let's just everybody put hashtag Mike Dean's a twat in the live chat, please. Because what a bullshit refereeing decision that was not to allow Matic's penalty award, or not even to look at it. Not even to look at it, man. Not even to look at it. That's what's pissed me off about it. Fair enough if they look at it and we've seen it from a different angle and he's won the ball first, then okay. But actually, when on the replay, it looked like it was a stonewall penalty, and Mike Dean's just refused to have another look at it. Where is the consistency then? Go on, Tento Cisco says, mate, Mike Dean's a twat. Absolutely. I mean, you can't blame it on him, but he certainly altered this result for United today. Absolutely. He altered the result for United. It could have been a draw, should have been a draw. That game was a draw. That was a draw game. Arsenal didn't do enough to win that game. Yes, they probed and played a bit of football in the first half, but United, we turned it on at the end. And we hit the post, we created a couple of chances there. It was a draw. That game was a fair draw. But unfortunately, the refereeing, the officials, they ruined the spectacle for me. And that's why we lost it. Big God Bob says, Mike Dean the devil. Absolutely, guys. I'm going to get into your thoughts and opinions now. So please do us a favour and smash that like button on the video. Give it a little thumbs up if you haven't done so. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. And have your say in the comment section. I'm not going to stick around too long today because I'm pissed off. But yeah. Get your thoughts and opinions in now, and I will stick around for 10 minutes and see what you guys think. Oh, my goodness me. What a shit result. We just lost a freaking Arsenal and throne. I hate them. I freaking hate them, mate. We're talking about, where's the passion? Where's the intensity from? It's gas, isn't it? We used to have the most intense battles with Arsenal out there back in the day. Keown and Van Nistelrooy, Keno, Vieira. Those were the days. Those were the intensity. What is it now? It's a pussy fest. We've gone out there. It's a pussy fest. We weren't intense enough, I don't think. Where's that killer instinct, though? I have to say that, we needed to... What's happened to modern day football? It's fucking pansy-fied. Player ratings. Thank you very much, Bob the Chimp. He says player ratings. Okay, let me give you my player ratings then. So I'm just going to get the team up here. So we have got... let's have a look. So we started with De Gea in goal. David De Gea in goal, to be fair, he hasn't really done anything wrong. He hasn't really had much to do. I can't really criticise David De Gea. Should he have stopped their goal? Not really. It's a penalty, I can't criticise David De Gea. He's not really fucked anything up, has he? So I'm just going to give De Gea a 5 and say, it's not really anything De Gea's done. Aaron Wan-Bissaka, mate, I mean, look, for him, he wasn't good. There was one moment where he's actually almost cost us a goal, where the ball's come in and he failed to head it away, and it's gone over him and it's gone to an Arsenal player, and they fluffed it. But if not, that could have been an Arsenal. So Aaron Wan-Bissaka's not had a very good game today by his high standards. I'm going to give him a 5 or a 4. Actually, it's got to be less than De Gea because he just wasn't as consistent. I've got to give him a 4.5. The back line then, Slabby Maguire and Lindelof. I mean, look, they were okay. They didn't really do that much wrong. I mean, Maguire almost scored 1 or 2. Lindelof didn't really do any howlers or errors or anything like that. The penalty was awarded. Pogba gave the penalty away. That's the goal that we conceded. They haven't had any hashes or proper mashes up out there. They've just had a bit of a, bang average game. I'm going to give them 5s. Lindelof and Maguire both get 5s for me. I can't give them any less than that. Luke Shaw over on the other side, it's the same deal. It's like Wan-Bissaka, bang average. Just another 5. It's one of those games from us today. Get in the midfield then, and this is where it gets interesting. McTominay, what a part of shite, mate. That was a seriously gas-tastic performance by Scotty McTominay. I'm going to have to give him a 3 or even a 2 for that one. I thought he was proper ineffective, kept giving the ball away, really shoddy, should have been ripped off at half-time in my opinion. That's where I do criticise Ollie. I think he should have been way more proactive. Earlier substitutions needed. He didn't take the players off and make the changes until way later in the evening, and that is not good enough really. He's got to be making the changes earlier to try and impact that game and force that change. And it didn't quite happen soon enough for me. So that's my one criticism of it. But I do think McTominay was crap and should have been taken off at half-time. Fred today, Fred's been brilliant recently. He really has been one of our best players the last few games. Today, he might as well been called bloody Fred the Dead. Fred the Dead. Some zombie from Halloween or something. I thought we had a zombified version of Fred turn up, mate. Because Fred the Dead was out there and he looked fucking dead. He was running around and he was doing all that he does already, but he just looked like, 28 days later zombie or something. He just didn't have it up there today. He didn't have it up there today. He had the energy, he had the speed, he had all that, but he didn't have it up there today. That was what was disappointing. His passing was poor. He's giving it away a lot. It just wasn't a good game from Fred. He's going to get himself a 3 as well. Sort your freaking life out, Fred. But he is on the back of a really good couple of performances for us. Let's get on to that absolute stinker at the back then. The man who's cost us the game, effectively, or cost us the goal, certainly. Paul Labile Pogba. Now, I don't want to make this all about Pogba and Pogba out and all that, but to me, Paul Pogba's just one of the most inconsistent crap players that we've ever had at this football club. I'm sorry to say that. He might be a World Cup winner. He might be great one week. He might be like, Van Basten one week, or he might be like, but the next week, he's not. He's like freaking, he's like Carlton Palmer or something next week. That's what's really disappointing for me, is the contrast you see from him. Last time out against Leipzig, Paul Pogba was brilliant. Paul Pogba was popping it off. Paul Pogba was creating. Paul Pogba was getting the freedoms to create. And he's created a goal for us right at the start. He's cut them open. He was good. I can't complain. But then the 2 games before that, he was shit. This game, he was fucking gash. So how are you supposed to defend Paul Pogba on the back of another bang average performance? He's too inconsistent 75% of the time. This twat doesn't turn up. You stick me a United shirt out there, I'll perform better than that twat 1 and 5. Do you know what I mean? Because he's fucking garbage 1 in 5, 4 in 5 even. It's very disappointing. Obviously, I'm just saying, maybe for 20 minutes I'll probably have a hernia or a cardiac after that. But for 20 minutes I'll put a decent display just to rival some of Paul Pogba's. You know why I could rival Paul Pogba's displays? Because they're shit. That's why. I could contribute that same level of gashness, I'm sure of it. So, yeah, only occasionally does Paul Pogba actually turn up. He might have won the World Cup, he might have been the tits for Juventus, but for United, he's a 25% player. And what that means, I'm not saying he tries 25%, but he only performs 25% of the time. So his player rating today, sorry, did I give Fred a player rating? I've mashed up. McTominay gets a 3, Fred gets a bloody 3 as well. Paul Pogba, Labile Pogba, he gets a 2 from me. One of the worst players on the pitch for me. Didn't create nothing. When he did have it, just wasted his opportunities. And, of course, that incident where he's given away the penalty has led to Arsenal's only goal of the game. Say what you want about the defending, say what you want about the display, say what you want about the lack of attack. And the only reason we lost this game today is because Paul Pogba did a schoolgirl challenge in the penalty area and gave away a penalty. That's the only reason we lost the game today. And the referee stitching us up out of a penalty as well. So say what you want about Paul Pogba, but he's the reason, ultimately, why they scored. Bad piece of defending from him. Hang your head in shame, Paul. Sort your bloody life out. Just sell him. I've had enough of him now. He's not good enough consistently. I don't care if he's great one game and shit the next. I'd rather somebody who's consistently decent throughout. And he's just not. He's just not. So to me, Paul Pogba gets a 2 out of 10, man. I thought he was absolutely jank city. Absolutely jank city. Bruno Fernandes then. The Portuguese Magnifico. How about the Portuguese slag? How about no out there today? Because he was freaking bad. Slagnifico. Whatever you want to call him. He was bloody gashtastic. I was really disappointed with Bruno Fernandes today. Don't know what it was. Just looked off the pace. Giving the ball away a lot. Just seemed to shrivel up out there. Don't really understand. But either way, you have to say that Bruno was one of the worst players on the pitch as well. Just didn't affect the game, didn't create, didn't have any chances, didn't do nothing. So to me, he gets a 2 out of 10 as well. That's the lowest rating I've ever given Bruno Fernandes. But I'm talking about in terms of effectiveness, in terms of just looking bang up for it, in terms of having any sort of a real intent. It wasn't good from Bruno Fernandes today. I was very disappointed with him. So I've got to give him a 2 out of 10, guys. And, it hates me to say that, but to be fair, though, it's not like Paul Pogba, though. I love Bruno Fernandes. I know Bruno Fernandes is probably going to come back next time and put in a worldie of a performance because he's consistent. Every footballer, no matter how good, whether it's Zidane, whether it's Scholes, whether it's Giggs, whoever, they're always going to turn up and have a dodgy game now and then. That is life, my friends. That's life. You can't be at your best all the time. But you just want to try and achieve a good level consistently, and that is what our players struggle to do. That's why I love players like Fred. That's why I love players like Matic. Because, yeah, they're not going to give you 10 out of 10 every week, but they will give you that 7 out of 10 every single week, apart from today. But you know what I mean? More regularly, more consistently. And Pogba, Bruno, these guys, Bruno's consistent, Pogba's not. That's the difference. But Bruno today was just as bad as Paul Pogba, in my opinion, even though he didn't give away the penalty. He just did nothing. He just did nothing. Greenwood then, Greenwood's a little bit brighter. I have to say, I thought Greenwood probably gets a 4 out of 10 for me, but he had one shot, one really clear chance. He's saved at the near post by Leno. didn't really give him the service. It's, you know, it's a 4, but it's not really necessarily down to him doing that. And Rashford today, I'll probably give him a 4-2. Maybe that's a bit generous for the forward line, but the fact is they didn't get much service from the team. Rashford and played Greenwood in a nice one, and it was just not a good enough display from the whole team to provide the likes of Greenwood and Rashford with that service up there, unfortunately. It was very tepid. We didn't really create chances. We've had 8 shots in the entire game. 2 on target. That's not good enough. That's not good enough. So there's my team ratings, lads and lasses. I don't know what you guys think, but I do think that we've had just a complete shithouse double daymare in this one. Yeah, very, very bad indeed, everyone. Very, very gutted. Let's get into your comment section, see what you guys think about it then. Red Devil Fire. Hey, do us a favour, smash that like button, everyone, if you haven't hit the thumbs up on it yet as well. Man of the match, Pogba, says Poltergeist. Well, yeah, if you're a Liverpool fan like you, Pogba is the man of the match, mate. Because he's the reason we lost the game. Oh, my goodness me. Right, okay then. So, what was I going to say? Rushmano, what's going on, Rushmano, man? Thank you for the comment here, buddy. Oh, crikey, Tox Cole with a $50 super chat here, mate. Thank you so much, Tox, man. Dude, he comments and says, Pogba in the starting 11, 1-3 losses versus Crystal Palace, 3-2 win at Brighton, 1-6 loss v Tottenham, 0-1 loss v Arsenal. More so, Ollie needs to stop being a coward and go for the win rather than being so negative. Tox Cole, you bring up a fantastic point there. I mean, look, Pogba in the starting 11, I agree. Look, not good results there. The consistency's not good for Pogba in United's side when he plays. I agree with you on that one. I think we do have more joy when we generally go for like McTominay and Fred in the middle in a 4-2-3-1 system anyway, and then have Bruno as the creator and then some wingers, you know what I mean? But look, Tox, to be fair though, I have to say that I do agree with you though about Ollie at the start of this game today. There was no bottle, there was no bollocks there. We're the team at home. I understand what he's trying to do. He knows Arsenal need to come and get the result. They did come and get the result, unfortunately, but he knows that they were going to try and do that. So what's he trying to do? He's trying to nullify them. He's trying to counter them. He's trying to keep it tight at the back. Tight at the back, make it difficult for them, keep a clean sheet and hit them on the break and win the game 1-0. In the end, it's ended up the other way. So I can only agree with you, Tox, and say that Solskjaer needs to be braver. He needs to attack from the off more, certainly at home. As far as I'm concerned, I'd rather us go out in our shield in these type of games. Like at home, play the swashbuckling football, set up with a 4-3-3 or set up with a 4-2-3-1 and really go for it, really get attacking at them. That's the ethos, you know. The problem is I think Solskjaer is quite aware we've got really bad players at the back. Players like Lindelof, players like Maguire. They might cost you. They're not really players that are going to be up and down there. You almost want them just sitting deep and spraying it out every single time rather than actually doing what we need them to, which is in that sort of game, which is cover and get up and down. And, you know, I don't think we've got the best backline to play proper attacking football right now. I know they say the best form of attack or best form of defence is attack. But at the same time, if your defence is gashtastic, then you are just going to leave yourselves open, I think. So, you know, we'll see. I mean, look, I know what you're saying. Solskjaer needs to be braver. At home, we should be attacking everybody. That Chelsea game's another good example as well. Yes, we were the only team that were going for it. Yes, they did set up to nullify us. But we should have been braver. We should have created more in that game too. We did it against RB Leipzig. We did it against PSG. But we haven't done it well enough. And that includes some against some of the smaller teams as well. You can say even that Newcastle game, like we created enough chances by the end of the game, but the start of it, we didn't start properly. We didn't start really well. We didn't start lethal. We didn't start attacking. And that's what we have to do. We have to start these games attacking. So, yeah. Thank you so much for that super chat there, Toxcore. You're an absolute bloody gentleman. I really appreciate that, man. And I agree with what you're saying, really. Solskjaer has to be braver. He does. But I can't say that Solskjaer's void of criticism. He's not. He deserves to be criticised for his selection today and the way that he's motivated the players, the way that he's set them up, and the tactics, the system, and the way that we were very toothless until they scored. It's like all of a sudden we have to go down before we're prepared to go and attack, and I think that's just plain wrong. Thank you so much, Tox, for that, you legend, man. Jarvis Cocker with a super chat as well, 100 knocks super chat. He says, we need to perform consistently. It's so freaking frustrating supporting the Norwegian Goblin. I love Ollie, but he's making it difficult and putting his head on the guillotine with games like these. Can we just get hashtag Ollie in, guys, please? Can we just get hashtag Ollie in the live chat? I hear what you're saying, Jarvis, I do. I hear what you're saying, but he's a manager who's learning on the job. He's adapting. He doesn't have the CV of a Josie or the CV of a Sir Alex or this long CV. He's adapting and he's learning on the job. Now, while he's been adapting and learning, maybe that's not right for United, but that's what we're going with. We're going with something different. We've tried and tested the big name managers. We tried Louis. We tried Jose. Solskjaer knows the club. He knows the ethos of the club. He's trying to build something gradually. Now, will there be a lot of bad results along the way? Yes, there will be. There will be more results like this. It wouldn't be surprised if we lost the next game, to be honest. If we lose the next game, am I going to flip and flop and be Ollie out? No, because I know we've got tough fixtures. I know we haven't started the season the best. I know we haven't set the team up right with all the best players that we could have done and got him in the transfer window because he hasn't been backed properly. So, yes, we'll probably make a scapegoat out of Solskjaer here. I think the fan base, some of the fan base will make a scapegoat out of Solskjaer, and I think that the Glazers would love to scapegoat Solskjaer. I think Woodward would love to scapegoat Solskjaer because it doesn't matter to them. They only care about the money anyway. If they can pin the blame on a manager instead of their overall leadership of the football club, which is what the real issue is, then they will. They will put that blame on Solskjaer. So I feel for Solskjaer. Solskjaer is under the cosh now. Make no mistakes. He is under pressure, my friends. He's really under pressure. He has to win games in the league. Never mind the Champions League. The Champions League's a lovely bonus for us this season. And we could, we bested the finalists last year. PSG got to the final last year. We beat them. RB Leipzig got knocked out by PSG in the semi-finals of the Champions League. We beat them 5-0 the other day. They're top of the Bundes. So we can do it. But you have to do it in the Premier League. You've got to do it in the Premier League. What a massive win that was for Arteta today, man. That pisses me off. That's a really, really good one. Yeah, mental. Gunshi says he's been here 2 years, Pig. The Glazers and Potato Boy will get rid of him like they did the other managers. I think you might be right, Gunshi. If it continues like it is, they could easily make a scapegoat out of him and sack him off, bring Poch in, makes no never mind to them. It will silence some of the fan base for a while, all the Ollie outers, all the doubters, it will silence them for a while. But the same pattern will repeat itself as long as the manager's not backed properly. And you know what? It's so funny for me to personally hear people criticise Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and his tactics, though. It happens to the best managers. You can't get it right every single time. But you know what he has displayed recently, this season alone? Yes, we've lost some bad games, and then that Palace one springs to mind. Terrible. But what about the great performance we've had this season? What about when he has got it tactically right? Not everybody is able to do it every time, especially when you're taking over a team that's not the best league and not the best team in the league, George Thompson says, I feel Fernandes and Fred and McTominay do not need Pogba anywhere near them. Pogba just overworked them by losing ball after ball. Absolutely no sense of position and loses the ball constantly. He's a complete dawdler, my friend. He is. He dawdles on it. He loses it. He gives it away. Unfortunately, that is a characteristic we've seen a lot of from Paul Pogba. There's a lot of people that like Paul Pogba and rate Paul Pogba. I think Paul Pogba on his day is brilliant, but you don't see that day very often. Thank you, Gungers. Comedy Channel says the Glazers need to go to their Amish village. Izan Carlos says Mike Dean the worst. Absolutely, that's another thing today. This is it. People will say Ollie out, it's Ollie's fault, it's all Ollie's fault. How about Pogba's individual fault? How about Mike Dean being the shittest referee in the league? How about his decision not to have a look at that Matic penalty shout? So think about that. If Pogba doesn't make that individual error, he doesn't do that. There's no need for him to do that. There's no need for him to challenge Bella in there. He wasn't going anywhere. If he doesn't do that, and if Mike Dean awards that penalty, then United win 1-0. So it's fine lines, my friends. Fine lines in this game. And unfortunately, we're on the receiving end of a bit of bad luck today, I think. Jarvis Cocker with a super chat says, to clarify, I'm Ollie in 100%. Glazers can piss off. Thank you, Jarvis. Yeah. No, look, I understand what you're saying. It is frustrating because he is the man selecting the team. He's made the wrong selection today, but these are all things that are easy to say in hindsight, aren't they? Remember the Newcastle game? Maguire and Lindelof at the back. Maguire scored a header. He's run the show. He's almost scored another one. He's run the show. So hindsight is a wonderful thing, and I know that. Hey, smash a thumbs up on the video if you're just getting in here, everyone. Please do hit that thumbs up. Umar Milk says, will personally glue Ollie's hand to the wheel. Good man, that's it. I mean, look. Okay, you're probably maybe you're a non-United fan there saying that, but I actually do think that he needs until the end of the season regardless. Come on, guys, how long do you think Solskjaer deserves now? He's only really had a proper full season. Okay, he took over and mopped up from Jose. I don't count that season at all. He's had one proper season. He has spent a bit of money, but he hasn't got the players he needs fully, if you ask me. Finley Dancer says, how was Fergie time? It was gash. Footy Pogba is the seeds in a grape. Pogba is the seeds in a grape. I don't really know what that means for Lille, but I'm guessing that means he's not good. Starbug UK, how's it going? He says 4 years. This is the thing. I mean, people who would want Sir Alex gone or Liverpool fans who wanted Klopp gone, if they would only give a manager 2 years, like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's had, you'd never have that dynasty created. You'd never have that Champions League winning side from Klopp. You'd never have that Premier League winning side. You wouldn't. If you'd have sacked him off after 2 years or 3 years, he wouldn't have had the chance to build that team. Same goes for Sir Alex Ferguson. He wouldn't have had the time to build that team if you sacked him off within the first few years. So Solskjaer needs time. He's coming in for a team that, let's face it now, haven't won the Premier League for 7 years. We weren't even in the Champions League. We were struggling. We were struggling when Ole came in. And I do think that we needed to give him patience and time. Can Mata and Bruno play together, says Michael Malcolm. Of course they can. I mean, they can. It just really depends on the system. And but I do think Mata is a player that I rate Mata way more than I rate Pogba. And I know that's weird for a lot of you people to fathom. But to me, Mata's way more consistent than Pogba. Glenn Curran says it's modern football, times have changed. True. Mabola says we are inconsistent. True. There's John Latin says there's no progress being made. End of story. Come on, there is progress being made, man. Look at Solskjaer's man management of some of the players, how they've come on, some of the players he signed, like Wan-Bissaka, slotting in and filling that hole. What about Bruno Fernandes? You don't think there's been any progress made by Ole bringing Bruno in? You really don't think there's any progress made by Ole bringing Bruno in? Because I tell you, he's a game changer for us. He's a difference maker. He's a creator. And that's Ole's signing. And how about some of the other players he's developed and brought along, like Luke Shaw? They were a shell under Jose. Or Nemanja Matic. He's actually a good, solid player under Solskjaer. But under Jose, he was a shithouse. So you can criticise him all you want and say that we haven't come along. But actually, just look at the facts. Never mind where we are right now. This is the start of the season. If you judged last season on this time, we'd have been screwed as well. But we finished third. Actually, he has brought us along because we finished third. So if you're just looking at the facts are he finished third last season, which was better. So, you know what I mean? So we have come along in terms of the progress. Gungshi says, I'd give Ollie until the end of the season at least. Yes, I'm going to judge him at the end of the season. I think he deserves a bit more time. And I'm not saying this because he's Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I'm not saying this because he's an ex-United player. I'm not saying this because he's an ex-club legend. I'm genuinely not. I'm just looking at the job he's done as manager, and I'm saying he's finished third in the league. He's got us Champions League football. We smashed up RB Leipzig. We smashed up PSG. He's showing glimpses. I'm saying he's done a good enough job now. Judge him at the end of the season, because I'm telling you now, there's a good chance at the end of the season we'll be top four and maybe in a latter part of a tournament or possibly with a bit of silverware. You've got to keep that belief. It can all change, man. We very nearly finished last season with the Europa League final and a third place finish in the Premier League. We didn't get to that Europa League final in the end, but we almost did. And let's just see what he does at the end of the season. Judge him at the end of the season. Do you judge a Michelangelo painting by the first tiny little spot of work on it? No, you don't. You judge it at the end when it's finished, when it's fucking finished. And fair enough if it's got a dodgy eye and a little withered hand instead, and the hands are touching and one of them looks smashed up. Then you say that's a shit painting, Michelangelo, mate. You've had a mare, son. Go back to the drawing board with that one. You're sacked off. We're going to get Donatello in, you prick. You know what I mean? That's what you say then. But we've only got a Solskjaer. What you have to do is the same. You've got to give him a chance to build and paint that picture. And until he's painted that picture properly and fully, come the end of the season, until the picture turns out to be shite, I'm going to believe that he can turn it around and finish that really good picture. At the moment, he's making those sketches. He's putting the foundations down. Yeah, he's dropped down a turd, but he can rub that out, guys. He can rub that out. He hasn't put the paint down yet. You know what I mean? Thank you very much, Gareth Doyle. Appreciate it. Kyan McGovern as well says Arsenal. Oh, my goodness me. What a shower of shite. Give me 2 secs, guys. What an absolute shower of shite. So anyway, I'm very, very surprised at the reaction from some of the fans in here, though, today on the watch along, because it just seemed like just because we lost that game against Arsenal, that's it. Ollie out. Ollie out. Flip-flop. Ollie out. Even though after the last few games it was great. Ollie out. I think it's ridiculous. I actually do. Guys, let's get a hashtag Ollie in on the go, can we? Hashtag Ollie in. Biff, thank you, Biff, says hashtag Ollie in. Oh, Rushmano, sorry, Rushy, I missed that. He says Ollie's post-match quotes. Thank you so much, Rushmano, for giving us that, dude. I just want to read you Solskjaer's post-match quotes out then. Really appreciate you, Rushmano, for keeping me up to date there. So this is what Pogba said after the game. Actually, hang on a sec. Pogba interview after the game. Roy Keane says, if Ollie has to trust these players out there, God help us. So Roy Keane pretty damning of some of the players like Paul Pogba, etc. Roy Keane says, lack of energy, quality and enthusiasm, no composure. I'm not convinced with these players. It was a perfect storm today. I think it was a combination of everything. I think it was the players not being good enough. I think it was the tactics not being positive enough and not being attacking enough. I think it was a combination, but I do have to agree with Roy. I think a lot of the players just didn't turn up today, and that's as simple as that. And Pogba ultimately gave away that penalty. Paul Pogba said after the game, with the ball, we were not that good today. Myself, everyone has to do better, starting from me. The team performance has to be better. Starting from me? Why is it all about you, Paul Pogba, you prick? Yes, okay, he says the team performance, but what a way to put it. He says, with the ball, we were not good today. Myself, everyone has to do better, starting from me. Yeah, fair enough. I know what he's trying to say there, actually. But it kind of like, it's kind of like, I don't know, he's shit, isn't he? He was shit today, and he's shit regularly. That's the annoying thing. It's a common thing for him. Pogba says, for sure the fans are huge for us, but don't want to give the excuse that the fans are not here and we give penalties away. They push us and give us extra energy. Thank you very much. Yeah, that's true. Without the fans, it does give you a disadvantage at home, I think. But that's the same for every team. We'll find out later in the season how we do against Arsenal at the Emirates, say, you know. Pogba said, we have to be consistent. That's how we win the league, by being consistent. Defending well, attacking well, and scoring goals. Piss off, Paul Pogba. Don't even... Pogba, we need to be consistent. You need to be consistent, not we. There's other people in the team that are way more consistent than Pogba. You should have said, I need to be more consistent on that one. That's what you should have said, Paul Pogba, you inconsistent prick. Solskjaer then after the game comments and said, we need to get points on the board. We didn't get our third win until the 10th game last year. We played 6 this year. Okay, that's probably not the best way to talk about it, is it? Guys, this wasn't as shit as last year. You know, we were shit last year. This is shit, but it's not as shit as last year. But he's got a point that it's a marathon, not a sprint, guys. It is. Let's see how we are at the end of the season. We've got a tough run of fixtures coming up now. Were we all expected to get that many points from him? I thought from the Chelsea game on, we'd get 6 points out of 12 over those 4 games. So that's what I'm still hoping we get. Because if we win the next 2, that's what it'll be. Solskjaer said we never turned up in the first half. No tempo, no shape. They were better than us. Second half, it didn't look like they were going to score. I agree with that. It just didn't look like they were going to score, but they did, and we didn't turn up first half. Solskjaer got it wrong. The players got it wrong. They just weren't there. Solskjaer on Pogba conceding the penalty. He said the boy Bellerin is running away from goal. There's no need to go in for the ball. Totally true. There's no danger there, but Pogba doesn't have to go into it. Ollie not happy with Pogba there with those quotes there saying that the boy Bellerin is running away from the goal. There's no need to go for the ball. So he knows as well the reason we conceded that goal today was because of Paul Pogba. I hope he drops Paul Pogba from the team next game. I really hope he's got the bottle to drop Paul Pogba next game. Biff, Inkpen, Rushmano, thank you so much for all those... thank you very much, Rushmano, for that, matey, for the post-match informazione there. Really appreciate that. Legend. Okay, yeah. Get your thoughts and opinions in, guys, about what you think is going to happen for Ollie this season. Do you think he's going to get given to the end of the season? I love this, by the way. Ollie in, everybody putting that Ollie in. Last Avenger, Starbug, Bill E, Philip Chapman, Dean Flynn, George Thompson. Absolutely, Last Avenger 85 says flip-floppers out. Good man, good man, good man. Shane Stoney says we haven't won a game that Pogba has started this season. Is that true, Shane? Yeah, you're right, actually. Tox Cole. If you look at Tox Cole's super chat here, he says Pogba in the starting 11. 3-1 loss versus Palace. 3-2 win at Brighton. 1-6 loss versus Tottenham. 1-0 loss versus Arsenal. So, yeah, I mean, look, Tox Cole laying it out for us right there, man. Like, literally, Pogba's a bad omen for us right now. He's a bad player for us. And maybe that's just because he's not good. He's not consistent enough. He must be the most overrated player in the Premier League right now. What do you guys think? Is there anybody more overrated than Paul Pogba? You know, he's a World Cup winner. He's come from Juventus. He's a world star. He cost 89 million on 300 grand a week. He's got this massive profile. He still gets into World 11s. People would tell you right now. He's got to be one of the most overrated players we've ever had. And I agree, Izan, Carles, Van der Beek should start. Superjit Badra says, what the hell is wrong with Pogba? My first guess would be a lot. After 30 years, Scousers says, it's depressing knowing that we won't challenge for the title. Well, we don't know that just yet. We're only 9 points off of first right now. That can change pretty quickly, my friend. If we go on a good run, we could challenge for it. We're only 9 points off the lead. It's a lot to be off the lead already, though. I hear you. Pogba drops, says Dean Flynn. Pro Plush Star Gamer says, I don't care what anyone says. I still love Paul Pogba. Fair play to you, Pro Plush Gamer. You know, a lot of people do. I don't get it, but a lot of people do. Rush Mano says, Urzu, LOL. That's a good shout. Kelvin Kachichi says, I think Oni should play Pogba as a super sub. Good shout. He looked good coming on as a sub. I agree. Marius Prime says, poor for Fred and McTominay. Buster Cherry says, Mesut Ozil again. United fan and says, Matic should have started. Don't blame Pogba. Arsenal should have won 4-0 anyway. McTominay was shite. Bruno and Fred should not have been taken off. Cavani and Van der Beek should have been brought on. I don't know. I mean, look, Bruno was shit, man. Look, Bruno was shit. I don't think he should have been taken off either, though. I do think Fred and McTominay should have come off for Matic and Donny. But I agree with you, though. You know, fair enough. But I do think Bruno was pretty gash today. He just didn't turn up. Crystal Caesar says he doesn't have to play Maguire. True, he doesn't have to, no, but because he's on such big money, because he's a captain of our side, you know, it's a bit difficult. I suppose he could strip him of the captaincy, but then it's like, oh, we've just wasted 80 million then. Pogba is overrated. He's just over-commercialised. De Bruyne actually enjoys... De Bruyne, you can't even compare them. It's comparing apples to oranges, mate. De Bruyne... I mean, I'm a United fan, and it pains me to say this. De Bruyne's 10 times the player of Paul Pogba. Certainly in the Premier League. I'm not talking about nationally, whatever. But in the Premier League, De Bruyne's 10 times the player of Pogba. And I hate to say that because he's a freaking City scumbag. Leaf Comedy says Pogba and Fernandes can't play together. It's so simple. Guys, you know what? I'm just pissed off, guys. I'm going to wrap this video up. I need to go and relax, guys. We're going to be back in 2 hours' time with some FIFA, guys, to try and relax. Come on, for fuck's sake. What a shit gash game of football that was. We've lost to the Arsenal holes. What more can you say? Steaming pile of horrendous gash. But I'm going to leave it there, folks. Please do come back after this stream and get your thoughts and opinions in. Please do smash that like button on the video as well. I'm just pissed off. I've had enough. I can't be bothered to talk about this shithouse game of football anymore. Arsenal are shite. They're lucky. Mike Dean's a twat. Pogba's a shithouse. Manchester United in general performed like a bunch of dead zombies after Halloween. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer got it totally wrong today with the tactics. And either that or the players got it completely wrong with deploying those tactics. You know what I mean? It was shit. Thank you so much, J Blood, Kingslayer, TR09, Philip Chapman, John Egan, J Blood, Dean Flynn. King Rio with a late super chat says, since joining, Pogba has more goals than any United CM. But that's just because probably he's been here the longest, right? I mean, look, McTominay's never going to get you the goals. Fred's never going to get you the goals. Matic is never going to get you the goals. So it's hard to really compare him with anybody that's going to get you the goals. Compare him to Bruno Fernandes then. That's a fair comparison. Compare him to Bruno in the time that Bruno's been here. It's not even close. Bruno makes Pogba look like a tit. I hear you though, King Rio. Thanks for your comment. Steve Walls says Pogba shite. Yannick Philippe, Philip Chapman, Stephen United, Northred, Tento Cisco. Shout out Tento Cisco. Athlete Central was not a pen. Well, I think the Pogba one was a pen, but I think the United one was a pen too. Ink Pen, Wan Matter, disappointed, failed electric toothbrush. Team Flynn, Tento, TR09, Kayam, Mohammed Niswan, Kamsam, and everyone else. That's going to be it from me. Thanks for watching. What a steaming pile of shite. Please do us a favour. Smash that like button. Subscribe if you're new. I'll see you in a couple hours' time for a bit of FIFA Actioni where we're going to smash up some fools and try and forget about this shit. Kayam, have a good one. Mohammed, Niswa, Kazam, King Rio, Razak, Rushmano, Deanfin, and everyone else. That's going to be it from me. Have a bloody good one. This is The Pig. I'll see you later. Thanks for watching. And for fuck's sake, we've absolutely bottled that one to shit.